Hey guys, good morning. How is everybody doing this morning? I have a very chatty cat, so I'm hoping she's just going to make it onto my lap and then she'll be a little bit quieter during this. Come on up. Come on up. She used to be in all my videos, but she's okay. So how old do you think she is? Some of you guys know, but I mean, I think she looks like she's in really great condition. She is 19. She's 19. So I have an almost 20-year-old cat. She can't really hear herself, so that's why she's really noisy. Anyway, she has no problems with public speaking or going live. But first of all, welcome to day 2. It's awesome that you're here. I'm excited to host you for day 2 of the Go Live Challenge. I am Sue Show again. Most of you guys know me. I am a business coach for multi-passionates and business rebels. So that means we do things our own way, but in a way with strategy, in a way that works. It's definitely not throwing spaghetti at the wall. I like to coach people who are, generally I coach women. I coach sensitive entrepreneurs and people that don't necessarily want to be defined by one specific, really narrow niche. So there are ways to monetize all your different passions and ways to make them clear so that you are naturally attracting the perfect clients and customers for you, without confusing them, which is something that can be a challenge for people that have more than one area that they're just super enthused about. So that is what I do. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. I've had successful brick and mortar and online businesses, and I've been a business coach for 3 years. So today, day 2 for the Go Live Challenge. It's been fun to see your lives and to see you guys implementing some of the things. I loved that you were using the timer. That's great because it helps when you have a lot to say, or if you have the tendency to ramble, which is definitely something that can easily happen when we public speak, especially if we don't have a set of slides or presentation that we're following. So if you're talking more off the cuff, then it can be easier to ramble. So the timer is a great thing, and just get used to sort of glancing over at it. Every once in a while, depending on what you set it for, every half a minute, every minute, whatever. So talking about timing. So something that I want you to know today is that when you're doing a live, so yes, yesterday the challenge was just to do 1 minute, and give yourself an introduction, give us an introduction of you. Generally though, when you're going live, it's best if you do a minimum of 3 minutes. And okay, so Facebook, we all know that we don't know how the algorithm works, right? It's mysterious. It seems to change all the time. It's just like same thing with Instagram or Pinterest or Google. Every time you think you figured something out, they change it. So yes, that's like maybe a super frustrating part of running a business, running an online business, but it's just the way it is, right? It's just how it is. So whatever, there's this black box of Facebook world, meta world. But from the research and from people doing studies on this, what it appears is that a minimum of 3 minutes is what gets better reach on Facebook. So that's in terms of what the algorithm will show, like who they will show your live to. So even if you're doing a quick live, it's best if you make it over 3 minutes. So not only does that probably bring more overall value, but it's going to help your reach. Another thing that massively helps reach is consistency. So when I really wanted to grow this group at the beginning, and when I was doing lives all the time, I made it a point of doing lives every single day. So most of them were unscripted. I might have had a few bullet points. I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, but it's what helps reach the most, more than once a week, for sure. And it's not that you have to go live every day forever. but it really helps when you want to grow your engagement. Um, yeah, it just depends on what you're going through in life. You know, I had to take a break from doing everyday lives um, due to what was happening in my life. Like a lot of you guys know, a year ago, I moved my daughter and I out of a bad home situation. We left her dad. So I was not in a place, you know, mentally, emotionally, whatever, to be able to go live every day. So did that kill my reach? Yes, it did. So I'm building it back up. But just so you know, it really makes a difference if you can take a month, you know, so like say pick October and go live every single day in October. And even if you're just doing the minimum 3 minutes, you can use the calendar in the workbook that I gave you yesterday. If you don't have it yet, just type in workbook in the comments. I'll get it to you after. Also give this video a like so that more people can see it. Helps with increasing the reach again, because when you go live consistently every day as opposed to every week, you will see your reach. The algorithm starts to love you. And I noticed this myself, and I've coached clients to do this. And it takes a bit of time. It's not like you do this for a week and all of a sudden the algorithm changes so much and you're seeing like massive engagement. It takes consistency. But you can do this. It's important, and it's a way to connect with your people. So it's well worth the time that it takes to do it. Okay, so I want to share with you guys, before I give you homework or anything like that, 2 things. The first thing is, if you're still feeling, you know, insecure or unsure or just nervous, like, again, public speaking fear is so widespread. And so, you know, almost all of us either have it or have had it in the past at some point. So it's super common. One thing that you can tell yourself is that you don't need confidence to go live. And that sounds like, yeah, of course you do. You know, like, how am I gonna be this insecure blob and like terrified of public speaking and just like show up live? You need some kind of confidence to go live. But you don't, and I want you to think of this phrase: you don't need confidence, you create confidence. So you don't need confidence, you create confidence. You create it by doing. So you do not need to have the intrinsic confidence in you before you go live. The act of going live and of consistently showing up creates the confidence. So you don't need confidence to start it. You need to create confidence by doing. It's by doing. It's by taking the action. So it's not by, I love that you're here. I love that you are typing hashtag replay and watching when you watch it later. Wonderful. But it's taking the action. It's taking the action in my group and then going and taking the action in your own group, your own Facebook group, your own Facebook business page, on Instagram. It's putting these things into play and growing, because like nothing lights me up more than seeing my clients and seeing you guys in the group grow your businesses. Like, I love that. It's amazing. So you don't need confidence to start. You create confidence by starting. And the next thing I want to do is I want to give you 2 permissions when you go live or public speak in any form. You know, if you're in person, in a small group, in a big group, whatever. This applies no matter where you are. So the first permission that I want you to give yourself is it's okay to feel nervous. So feeling nervous should not prevent you from doing it, except that you're going to feel nervous, whatever form that means. You know, that could be like terrified. Like I told you, I was absolutely panicked. You know, I was at the extreme end. You could also just feel kind of butterflies, or you could feel a bit nervous about talking without having a training to deliver, you know, more spontaneous. So whatever unease is there, let it be there and do it anyways. Just do it anyways. So one of my favorite books of all time is called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. I think it's by Susan Jeffers, and it's fantastic. You know, it's about not missing out on life. You know, like I've lived a big life, but I've also been afraid of a lot of things. And the way that I've lived the life I've lived is that I accept that the fear is there, and ultimately I don't want to shrink my life because of the fear. I don't want to shrink my life. So don't shrink your life. Let the fear be there and still do the things that you want to do. Still put yourself out there. Still grow your business. Still connect with your customers and your clients. They need you. They need you, right? Like, this is for them. This is like an act of service. Okay, so that's the first permission. Let yourself feel nervous. And the second one is a little bit harder. The first one you probably heard of before, but the second one might be trickier, and it might be something you haven't heard of. Let yourself be okay to sound nervous. Give yourself permission that it's okay if you sound nervous. That one's harder because we like to, you know, even if we feel afraid, we like to kind of stuff it down, or, you know, still present in a certain way that like nobody can tell that we're nervous. What if you make it okay if you sound nervous or unsure or emotional even? Maybe you're having an emotional day and you show up live. Maybe you are sleep deprived. Maybe you are rambling more than usual. Can you make it okay that that's noticeable? Can you make it okay that you are not able to hide all of that, that you're showing your humanness? Let me tell you that permission changed absolutely everything for me. Not only did it change things in my public speaking life, but in every area. You know, like I don't have to hide when I'm feeling shy or when I'm feeling insecure. We all have these feelings. Like, it's bullshit to always be confident. I don't care if I'm a coach, you know, and yes, I have a lot of answers. Do I have all the answers? No, of course not. Am I insecure sometimes? Yes. Like, it's normal, right? So give yourself permission to be okay with all the yous, whatever you is showing up today. Let that be okay, and let it be okay that it's noticed and seen. So a story that I like to tell is, years ago I went to this poetry reading, and I write poetry. I've been published, and I love poetry. I read it all the time. And so I went to this reading, and it was an open mic, and there was a woman who stood up to read her poem, and she was nervous as heck. Like, she was so nervous, and it was very noticeable. Like, she was not able to hide it. She was not able to hide it, or she let herself show it, right? One of the two. Nobody thought any less of her. Like, nobody was like, oh my God, you know, like, get this woman off the stage. I still took in her poem. And if anything, I thought she was super brave for doing it. And being that nervous and standing up and wanting to share her words, wanting to share something of herself, something of value, her like beautiful poem. Just like I want you to share your beautiful businesses, in spite of insecurities, in spite of not having all the answers, in spite of maybe being unsure about going live, either planned or spontaneous, whatever it is. I want you to still share, because people and the world, they need your businesses, and they need you to show up. This is how you get it out there. It's the fastest way to connect. It's such an authentic way to connect when people actually see you and hear you and see and hear you show up in all your messy, imperfect human glory. You know, like, to me, that's awesome. That's like the best. So give yourself those two permissions. And today, what I would like you to do is I would like to stretch you to talk for 3 minutes. So that's the 3-minute minimum that Facebook apparently likes. So set a timer for 3 minutes. You can do this first in my group, and you can also do it in your own group. I want you to talk 3 minutes about your business. So just anything you want to share about it. What do you love about it? Share about your favorite product, what got you started in your business. Let us know what you do. Why do you do it? What is it about? What lights you up? All that. So bring that out today. And today, just keep it about that. You don't have to have any elaborate, call to action or anything like that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the selling or the marketing. Just let your love of your business and what you do come out. I just want to hear that. I just want us all to hear that. So looking forward to hearing your lives, and thanks for watching again and being here with me. I know this is a stretch for many of us, many people. This is a stretch. It's easier sometimes to grow other areas of our businesses that don't have to do with public speaking, right? So way to go for showing up and trying this and being here on day 2. So I look forward to your lives, and I will talk to you guys real soon.